Welcome, everyone. Welcome to a very special meeting. This is Roseburg's Speakers Storytellers meeting on 16th January, which is going to be the club contest day. I'm very glad that today we are all here for two contests that are the International Speech Contest and Humorous Speech Contest. I'm very excited. I would like to extend good luck to all the participants, and I would like to welcome all the guests here and all the role players. Rennie, the division director, is here with amongst us. Rennie, you're welcome. All the guests, and please send the invite if there are more, because our contestants do need encouragement. With a big smile, I am very glad to introduce to you our lovely contest chair, Sarah, will be leading us through this exercise. Sarah, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Yasmin. Actually, I'm very excited, but also very nervous. I think I'm as nervous as the contest. And I remember one exercise to do when we are nervous, and I will invite you all to do this. And this is something very important for public speaking, but something that we forget. I don't know why. And it is breathing. So I will invite you to breathe for the next 30 seconds, at least 3 times, very deeply. You can go with me. You can also stretch a little bit. Okay, ready. And I want to congratulate you all for participating, because it is a learning experience. Just as Jasmine just said, it is learning through a couple of days to practice, having contact with our mentors, practicing. And for the audience, is also a learning experience to know from your experience, to get some good examples. And I'm very happy that we have so many participants in our club. So the flow of the meeting will be, we will start with the International Speech Contest. You can see all the timer. Ayu is gonna be our timer. So please keep that in mind. We also already have the raffle for the order of the speeches. And after each contestant, we will have 1 minute silence for the judges to get all the information. And then after the international contest, we will have the Humorous speech contest. And finally, we will have the awards. So I hope the flow is clear. And without any further ado, we can go then for the first contest, the international contest. The first speaker will be Mary Pearson, with the speech title, Pay It Forward. Pay It Forward, Mary Pearson.
Oh, what a morning I'm having. The kids missed the bus. I had to drive them to school. I spilled coffee all over my clothes. I had to change. And now I'm driving through the drive-in to get another cup of coffee to start my day. I drive up to the thing. I go to pay. But wait a minute, where's my wallet? I don't have any money to pay for the coffee. The cashier said, "Don't worry about it. the person that was ahead of you paid for your coffee this morning. Wow. That simple act of kindness changed my whole outlook on my day. It's called paying it forward. This concept comes from a movie that came out in the United States in the year 2000, based on a book of that same name called Pay It Forward. It's about a 7th grade boy who was asked by his social studies teacher to create a plan of something that will change the world. And this boy did just that. He created a plan called Pay It Forward, where one person would do 3 random acts of kindness, something that the person couldn't do alone. Now, the idea is to try to keep it anonymous, but sometimes your random acts of kindness involve having to give the recipient face them. But the idea is doing something kind for someone without getting anything in return. Wouldn't that be a wonderful world and a positive change to our world if all of us sought out opportunities to do just that? Pay it forward. Think about little things that you might be able to do to brighten someone's day. A coworker having a really rough day goes up to the snack machine, puts the money in, and nothing comes out. There's an envelope taped to the front of the machine saying, "I hope this brightens your day," with $2 inside, money to purchase a snack anonymously. Take the money out, the person puts it in and is able to get their snack. It's a small thing, but boy, that can really change someone's attitude. There are bigger things that can be done. In this movie, a gang leader allows a father to have his daughter go ahead of him in the emergency room, take his place in line. That act of kindness saved that girl's life. Life-changing by doing a small act of kindness. Another gentleman was involved in a car accident. His car was totaled, but the other car just had a small scratch. The person literally got out, walked away, handed the keys, and walked away, giving his car to the person whose car had been totaled. Wow, what an act of kindness that could be. Think about things that you might be able to do to pay it forward. Not just monetarily. Your most valuable gifts is your time and your talents. Sitting with an elderly person and conversing, spending quality time with them. Seeking out people that are lonely or sick or unable to get out on their own. Offering to go to the store to pick up items when they're not able to. Or leaving items at their front door anonymously. Taking the kids, the person's children for a little while so that the harried parent can have some alone time. That valuable time that most young parents get very little of. There is a lot of things online that you can look up, pay it forward, or random acts of kindness. And it gives lists of many, many things that you can do that will help change in a small way your world. If all of us would seek to make it a daily choice to pay it forward, our world would be a much better place. So I challenge you, go through that list, pick out some things and pay it forward. Madam Contest Master.
Thank you, Mary. Now I will ask the timer to time 1 minute for the ballot, for the judges to finish their.
1 minute start from now. One minute is over.
Thank you, Aju. Now let's move forward with the second contestant. And the second contestant is Ravi Shankar Hanaso, with the title of the speech, Behind Every Successful Protégé, There's a Mentor. Behind every successful protégé, there's a mentor. Ravi Shankar Hanaso, the floor is yours.
Think back to a time when you were new at something, be it a hobby, a skill, a profession, or a sport. Did you happen to have a mentor? With a show of hands, how many of you think having a mentor helped you? Thank you. Contest chair, distinguished judges, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. Behind every successful protege, there is a mentor. Today, I'd like to share with you 3 of my own stories and experiences as a protege and what I took away from the learning that I got from my mentors. My first experience is about a mentor who helped me improve my skills as an agile coach. A few years ago, I had an opportunity to work with a bunch of teams that build software in order to guide them as an agile coach. Now, I had been working with teams that build software for my entire professional life. This was nothing new to me. But this was my first time working as an agile coach. Sri Lakshmi was my mentor. And what a mentor she was. She made sure that she guided me throughout the assignment. She was always around to help answer any of those questions that I had. And I had innumerable ones. She also made sure that she gave me feedback throughout my stint as the coach. And not only did she make sure that I was comfortable in this new role, she also made sure that the teams that I was working with were comfortable. Because of her mentoring, not only did I become very good at being an agile coach, the teams that I partnered with also grew by leaps and bounds, and they were very successful. To this day, when I now work with any software team as an agile coach, I like to think there is Sri Lakshmi. Behind every successful protege, there is a mentor. My second instance of being mentored by another mentor is by a person named Gurpreet. He was a stellar facilitator. Now, back in the day, I used to team up with the learning and development department, and I would facilitate workshops at the workplace. During one such workshop, I co-facilitated the workshop with Gurpreet, and I learned a whole lot of skills just by observing him. He knew when was the appropriate moment to pause for effect. He knew the right moment when the audience was losing focus, and he would divide them into breakouts and have an activity to keep their focus. And there were a lot of other tips and tricks up his sleeve in order to keep the audience engaged throughout the workshop. He also made the minutest of observations when I was facilitating the session. For example, did I make sure that the lighting was just right? Or did I make sure that the color of my clothing didn't distract the audience from the focus of the presentation? Armed with all of this feedback, I became a much better facilitator. To this day, I'd like to think that behind every successful workshop that I host as a facilitator, there is Gurpreet. Behind every successful protege, there is a mentor. My third experience with a mentor who's been helping me for the last 2.5 years is with a person named Vijay. He is helping me become something that is called a professional coach. The amount of mentoring that I have received from Vijay, and that too in a virtual fashion, far exceeds the mentoring that I've received in person from any other mentor. Vijay knows how to share incisive feedback on my performance and something that I can immediately put into action. To this day, I'd like to think that behind every powerful question that I ask as a professional coach, there is Vijay. Behind every successful protege, there is a mentor. Be it working with teams that build software, be it facilitating a workshop for a bunch of people, or be it asking somebody a powerful question to evoke change within them, I have greatly learned a lot from my mentors. That is why I say again and again and again, behind every successful protege, there is a mentor. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, how many of you do not have a mentor yet? What are you waiting for? In this very room, if you look around you, you're sure to find one. Over to you, contest chair.
Thank you, Ravi. Now I will ask for a moment of silence until the ballots are collected. So just please, Michelle, give me a sign when the ballots are collected.
Yes, thank you. And in fact, so that you can have some time here, may I invite all the judges to please join me in the judges' room. I mean, not all the judges, the international speech contest judges, the ones that I have briefed recently. Please come and join me in the briefing, in the breakout room. So we're not holding up. Okay, I'm not seeing anyone coming yet. Please come and join me in the
We can still hear you, Michelle.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm looking to see if the judges have left. I'm still in your room, but I will be leaving now. To repeat, the judges, please come over to the judges' room because we want the rest here in the main room to proceed with whatever interviews or whatever they want to do. Perhaps our division director might want to address the group while we're over there. So judges, come and join me.
Okay, I don't know if the division director is there, wants to give us some words.
Thank you, contest chair. It's just a pleasure to see all this participation in the Roseburg Speakers and Storytellers Club this morning. And I just encourage each of you to do your best today. And I look forward to seeing you at the division contest, the winners. Thank you very much, contest chair.
Thank you very much. Now I want to ask one general question to our contestants. Are you less nervous than before? Are you now more relaxed?
Yes, far less nervous. Thank you.
Great. And Mary, what was your inspiration for this speech? I guess your first experience, the anecdote that you told us, and
That first story that I started out with was actually a true story that happened to me. It was just a really bad morning, and someone doing that small pay it forward act of kindness just totally turned around my day. And from that day forward, I tried to find little things that I could do for others. I messed up part of my speech. I forgot it. So you'll get to hear it at the next opportunity. But it is a very wonderful thing to do, both for the recipient and for the person that does it. You just feel better. So that's
yeah,
how,
for sure.
that was my inspiration for it. And also the movie, I absolutely was engrossed in it. So pay it forward if you have an opportunity to watch the movie. It's from October 2000. So it's an old movie out there, but it's well worth watching. Thank you. Back to you, contest chair.
Thank you, Mary. And for you, Ravi, you were talking about your mentor and all this inspiration, and what inspired you to write this speech?
To be honest, this was part of one of the pathways that I've chosen, but also I was being nudged by one of my mentors to acknowledge the help that they've given to me so far, and I thought this would also be a good way to acknowledge all the help that I've received from them, is to write a speech about it and share it with everybody.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
So is everybody back? I don't see Mitchell yet. We need to wait for her, right? So I don't know, Jasmine, if you have some question for the contestant or some comments.
Yes, why not? I have, if I'm gonna start, I'm gonna start with by mentioning actually that one of the best mentor for Ravi, I guess, is his wife. Every time he is making a speech or preparing or practicing for a speech or has difficulty to decide for which speech he wants to, he goes to his wife. So Ravi, would you like to share the experience of what role your wife has in your Toastmaster journey?
Sure. Thank you. Yes, and I think if I get access to this recording, I'm going to make sure she watches it. She's not in the room right now, but indeed, I think she's always been a pillar of support in all of these speeches that I have given so far, especially with the Roseburg Speakers and Storytellers Club. And she's my sounding board. So yeah, she's definitely around to share feedback for all of my speeches. And so I would also want to acknowledge all of the mentoring that I get from Yasmin as well, in addition to the mentoring I receive from my wife. Yasmin has also given me very good feedback about all of my speeches. And I wasn't sure if I could do that and invoke another Toastmaster member within a speech. And that's why she doesn't figure in the speech. But otherwise, yeah, a lot of help from Yasmin as well. Thanks.
Thank you, Ravi. I got the answer I wanted, that you didn't mention me in your speech. Mary, who is this person you look up to when you have to practice your speech, or who do you practice your speech with?
My friend Barbara, she's a fellow Toastmasters and she's an excellent speaker. She has won many contests. So her and I are each other's sounding board. I always get great feedback from her, but I have to admit, I did not practice this speech, and to me it was very obvious I missed part of my speech. So I will certainly call upon Barbara to practice before the next level of next contest. But Barbara Linsmeyer, fellow Toastmaster, is my practice buddy. Back to you, Yasmin.
Thank you. Ravi, how is your vegan journey going on?
Still going okay, I would say. It's an experiment, running it one day at a time, and so far it's going okay.
Yeah. And what sort of aspires you to participate in contests?
Well, it's a whole lot of fun, and you get to practice your speech a lot, and you also get to see all of the other speeches, all of the other speakers, and all of the other thought processes that they have. So that's something that's very interesting.
Yeah.
And I have had an opportunity to be one of the role players in the contest earlier with Roseburg Speakers and Storytellers. So now I'm really happy that I got an opportunity to participate as well. So yeah.
Thank you, Ravi. I see that Chief Judge is back in the room. Contest Chair, would you like to carry it forward?
Yes.
Point of order, just a minute. May I invite the judges for the humor contest to please join me in the breakout room, please. You know who you are. I will not name you. Please join me in the judges room. There's only one breakout room. It's the judges room. Thank you.
So Sarah, what are you doing back in Mexico?
Just vacation.
How's the weather?
Almost
up
1
there?
month. Yeah.
Is it
It's
warm?
very nice. It's a warm winter compared to Germany, I mean.
Yes, I bet. And Oregon.
Yeah.
I'm
Is
jealous.
it raining a lot in Oregon?
It's been, I don't think it's raining. Well,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Kevin will let you
I
know.
have.
I think it rained all last week off and on.
Yeah.
I know it'd rain continuously at night, and
Mhm.
then it would follow the winds, and then power outages and other kind of little minor natural disasters and whatnot. So, but
wow.
it's actually pretty mellow right now. It's just kind of cold and foggy right now. So
Mhm.
Especially at this time of the morning.
yeah, it's kind of looking forward to going back to sleep. I got to work today, so. How long is this going to take? I mean, with the judges and then the contest winners and all that, is it going to go till 8:30 or so? Or
No,
Yeah.
I was planning until 8, 8:10 or something like this, 8:15. I hope we can do it like this, because I was not taking in account these breaks with the judges.
Okay.
So what part of Mexico are you in?
I'm in Zacatecas. It is in the middle north.
Middle north. Okay, so is it north of Mexico City?
No, it's not close to Mexico City.
But it's north of it.
It's north, yeah.
Okay. Tiger, the order is Kevin, you, and then me.
And then Deja, yeah.
Kevin is first, and then me second, and then Deja, you're third.
Mhm.
Thank you very much.
And remember, it's Dijon, like Dijon mustard, not like deja vu. It's a long E.
Deja.
Like Dijon mustard.
Mhm.
So Kevin, you can start getting ready to go just after the judges are here.
While we're waiting, can I do a sound check?
Yes, please.
Okay, I want to do it without my microphone here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Am I loud and clear? Okay.
Okay, is everyone back? Perfect, then we can continue with our second contest. And the first contestant will be Kevin. So Kevin Birdsell with the speech title, Whatever Happened to Arvice? Whatever Happened to Arvice? Kevin Birdsell.
Whenever I'm feeling hungry or famished from a hard day at work or a hard day at the gym, whenever I'm feeling the least bit carnivorous, the first thing that comes to my mind is a classic roast beef sandwich from Arby's. The juicy, tender, succulent beef just melts in your mouth. And then when you add the horseradish and the Arby's sauce, it gives the eating experience a whole new dynamic. I am so satisfied and fulfilled after eating a classic roast beef sandwich from Arby's. And you can get them in double and triple if you'd like. Depends on how hungry you are. I feel so good after I've had a meal from Arby's, and I don't go hungry again for a long, long time. If you're hungry right now, I recommend going to Arby's and having the same eating experience that I have. Are you hungry already? I hope you have a very, very fast car, because if you're living in Southern Oregon, you might have to drive maybe 60 miles, maybe 100 miles to the nearest Arby's, because there aren't very many in Southern Oregon, unfortunately. It's not like Burger King or McDonald's where there's one wherever you go. Unfortunately, there's only 4 Arby's that I can think of in Southern Oregon by itself. The one nearest me is at a truck stop. It's not even a restaurant of its own. It's at a truck stop, at a drive-through. That's no way to treat an Arby's. I remember about 40 years ago, Southern Oregon had an Arby's in every small city. They were everywhere. I loved it. When I was stationed over in Hawaii, there was only one Arby's in the entire island of Oahu, and it was located at a shopping mall in Pearl Ridge. And when you go to the shopping mall, it's not even in the food court. It's like on the third level, all the way at the end of the corridor, where there's not a whole lot of shopping activity. And you walk in there, it's a little small little room. It's not even very big. That's no way to treat Arby's. It's like a social outcast of restaurants. It should be in the food court with the other restaurants. You don't even get the same kind of eating experience that you would, at Burger King or McDonald's that you get at Arby's. So why are we treating Arby's so harshly? It's becoming almost an endangered species like the California condor. We can't let that happen. I remember there used to be a beautiful Arby's located in Roseburg. It was on a hill. You had a beautiful view of the city of Roseburg. I used to enjoy going there every weekend for a meal. About 20 years ago, it burned to the ground. They rebuilt it, but it's not the Arby's restaurant. It's like an urgent care facility or something like that now. I remember a time when me and my friend were driving back from Salem. It was a long drive. We were getting kind of hungry. We were approaching Cottage Grove. We were looking for some restaurants. We saw a sign that said Arby's. So we turned off and headed into Cottage Grove. We saw a lot of other restaurants. We saw Burger King, a Carl Jr., KFC, Taco Bell, all these other restaurants right there on the main street. But where's Arby's? We had to drive all the way to the other end of town just to get to Arby's. And it was located in a parking lot by a shopping center. Once again, it's like another social outcast situation. It's not where it should be by the other restaurants. I remember for a long time, every year, I would drive to the coast, take a nice drive down the 101. But before I took that drive, I always passed through Coos Bay to go to the Arby's there. It was a beautiful restaurant, magnificent, had all the amenities, was big, spacious. It smelled nice and new. It had a nice station for the sauces, a nice station for the beverages. It was a wonderful eating experience, a dining in. I was driving through Coos Bay. I was starting to feel a little carnivorous from all that long drive. The anticipation was high. I was so looking forward to going to Arby's and getting my classic roast beef. I was even going to have a double roast beef. Heck, I was so anticipating the experience. I was heading down Main Street, approaching the location where Arby's used to be. I look ahead as I'm driving. Well, I don't really see it, but maybe I'm just not close enough. I'll keep going. Here we go. Keep driving. It should be right there, but I pull up and I see a big area of rubble and tape cordoned off. Like the building was there, but it was demolished. I stepped out of my truck and I asked somebody walking by, I said, "Hey, what happened to Arby's? It used to be right here." "Oh yeah, they decided to tear it down." I was like, "Why?" "Oh, I don't know. I guess it wasn't bringing in enough revenue or something." That don't make sense. Are they going to rebuild it? Probably not. A few years later, I drove through there and it still looks the same. It's just a big open space now. What is happening to Arby's? We can't allow Arby's to be an endangered species or an extinction. We got to stop this now. Today, I'm asking all of you to join me We're going to go up to the state capitol. We're going to do a little demonstration with picket signs and letters of demand and a petition. We're going to demand the state governor provide us with the funds and the money we can get to start building locations in every small city in Southern Oregon. And we're not going to stop from there. We're going to keep going until all of America has an Arby's in every city and every town, just like there is with McDonald's and Burger King. Because I want everybody to enjoy get the same experience that I get whenever I enjoy a succulent, tender roast beef sandwich from Arby's. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Kevin. Now I will ask Ayu or timer to time 1 minute, please.
1 minute start from now.
So Kevin, have you tried the In and Out yet?
Is there like an app or something? Arby's app?
No, the In and Out that's by that just
Oh,
opened by Home Depot.
Oh, you mean
1
the
minute is
In-N-Out?
over.
I thought you said the internet. I was like, what? No, the In-N-Out's so good too. As a matter of fact, I haven't tried the one in Roseburg yet, but there is one in Medford I've tried. It's pretty good. Me and Michelle went there once. I remember Michelle and Tiger. We went there in Grants Pass when we were going down there for a conference meeting, Toastmasters. Pretty good.
Contest chair, 1 minute is over.
Thank you, Ayu. Now we have our second contestant, which is Tiger McKendy, with the title of the speech, Learning is Fun. Learning is fun, Tiger McKendy.
It was a hot, sweltering summer afternoon. I'd been working in the forest all day. I decided I was going to take a little cat nap under an old growth fir tree. No sooner had I laid down my head than I got hit with something. And then again, and then again. And I heard, chit-chit-chit-chit-chit. I looked up. There were a pair of squirrels, and they were dropping cones on me. Can you believe that? Well, I wasn't going to take that lying down, so I jumped up and I exclaimed, "This means war!" And I returned fire. Well, my friends, if this was a war, I lost badly. Squirrels, 47, Tiger, 0. Then I heard from a distance, "College boy, I know you're having fun with them squirrels, but I hope you learn to leave them alone." That was my boss. His name was Richard. He went by Dick. Dick had a habit of saying 2 words together very often: learning and fun. He also had a great sense of humor, or at least he thought so. Let's back up. My first day on the job, he took me out to a cedar tree and he pointed up. "College boy, what do you see up there?" "Well, sir, I see a hatchet. It has a red ribbon attached to it." He then explained to me that when he was my age, he had taken that hatchet and planted it right here at eye level, and that over the last couple of decades, It had grown that far up the tree. I took the bait. That's pretty cool. College boy, you got a forester degree, you don't even know how a tree grows. And then he went to explain, you have a lot to learn, son. That's okay, because learning is fun. Over the next few weeks, he took me out in the forest and he taught me all about everything that lives in the forest. He was a forestry encyclopedia. Explained to me that everything was connected. All the things were important. The fungi, the plants, the animals, even those pesky squirrels. One day, he took me out to a large, tall sugar pine tree. This tree was 200 feet high and it had spikes in it, like a telephone pole. He explained to me that my job that day was to climb that tree and collect fresh cones. He could tell by the fear on my face that this was not something that I relished. Simple advice. College boy, I suggest you don't look down. So I began to climb. Don't look down. Don't look down. For goodness sakes, Tiger, don't look down. You know exactly what I did. At about 100 feet off the ground, I started to shake like a leaf, and all I could think about was, man, I'm 24 years old. I'm too young to die. All of a sudden, all the adrenaline rushed out of me. I was completely relaxed. So I went ahead and climbed up the tree all the way to the top. Sugar pine cones are the largest cones in the world, and they weigh several pounds. They grow way out on the tips of the branches. My first cone, I reached out to grab it and I lost it. I knocked it down. In my panic, I couldn't think of anything else to do, so I just yelled, 4! And then I heard thunk. Yeah, I missed. When I got down to the bottom of the tree, he congratulated me on a job well done getting over my fear. He then said something that I did not want to hear. Now that you learn how to climb a tree, the next time will be more fun. The next time, everything must pass. The last day on the job, he took me to his truck. He sat me down. He asked me, what did you learn this summer? Well, sir, I learned that all things in the forest are connected. I learned to get over my fear of heights to get a job done. I also learned how a tree grows. Trees grow from the top up. He got a big chuckle out of that. He went into his truck and he brought me out a box, a homemade wooden box. And engraved, it said, Tiger, Forester. Well, I was immediately taken back. I didn't even realize that he knew my name. All summer, I'd just been college boy. Inside that box was the most meaningful gift that I have ever received. Now, can you imagine what was in that box that was so important to me? And no, it wasn't a large pine cone. Inside that box was a hatchet with a red ribbon attached. He then said to me something that I have never forgotten. Take that hatchet Put it on a mantle next to your forestry degree as a reminder that learning is, that's right, learning is fun. Contest chair.
Thank you, Tiger. Now, Aju or timer, please help us with 1 minute in the timer for silence for the judges to finish their ballots.
1 minute start from now. Contest chair, 1 minute is over.
Thank you, Aju. Now we have our third participant, the last one of this contest. And she is Dija Stanley, with the title, The Perks of Being a Poor Mom. The Perks of Being a Poor Mom, Dija Stanley.
Thank you, Contest Chair Sarah. Hello, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My speech today is titled, The Perks of Being a Fur Mom. Many of you already know that I am a fur mom to an adorable mini poodle mix named Evie. There are many wonderful things, many perks to having a fur baby, and I'm going to take you through some of the most fun ones. Perk number 1, you get a bed bug. Take a look at this picture of my little bug. I call her little bug. She is right smack dab in the middle of the bed. From this picture, you would think it was her bed. Now, where am I to sleep? Both legs on the right, both legs on the left, one leg on the right, one leg on the left. Or perhaps I wrap myself in a circle around her, for it would be an atrocity to move this little angel who looks so comfy. No matter how much I contort my body during the night, it is more than worth it to have her company, warmth, and love. Perk number 2, going number 2. I hope you guys don't need a visual aid for this one. A few years ago, I was walking Evie with a friend. Evie had just finished up doing her business. And I was telling her what a good girl she was for going potty. Good girl, Evie. My friend thought for a second, and then he said, man, I wish people would praise me every time I went poop. Can you imagine it? You get done doing your business, wash your hands, and open the bathroom door. And there you see your mom, dad, maybe even your grandma, waiting to cheer you on. Good boy, Tiger. Good girl, Michelle. After Evie is done doing her business, I of course clean up after her like a good mom, fur mom. And when I do this, I sometimes wonder what Evie is thinking that I do with her poop. This is what I imagine. I don't know why, but sometimes my mom likes to pick up my poop with a bag and carry it around with her for a little bit before she eventually hides it in a metal or plastic container. I don't know. It's unfortunate that dogs can't talk. It would be fascinating to hear what she has to say and what she thinks about. Which leads me to perk number 3. Evie is a constant puzzle. When I was in Spain last fall, my parents watched Evie for me, and they told me about how Evie would frequently get up from her spot where she was laying down and stare at my mom. She would just stand there and stare. What is it that she wanted? Does she want permission to lay down with her on the couch? Come on, Evie. Come on up. Evie, come on. But Evie just stands there and stares. All right, maybe she wants something else. You need to go potty? Do you want to go outside? She wags her tail a little bit. But I'm not convinced that's what she's really asking for. Are you hungry? You want chicken? Again, a little tail wag. But she still stares at me that's like it's not what she's asking for. So my mom says in this situation, Deja, Evie is staring at me. Come take care of her. So I do. I come over, I take care of her. I try to talk to her, ask her what she needs. She's my fur baby, and I love her. I love being the person to constantly have to solve the puzzle that is Evie. And I love being the perks, or I love the perks of being a fur mom. Thank you.
Thank you, Deja. Now, Aju, can we have 1 minute silence to finish the ballot?
Sure. Start now.
Madam Contest Chair, may I invite all the judges to join me in the breakout room, please?
Sure. And then Jasmine, we can move on to the interviews whenever you're ready.
There's something wrong. I keep on clicking, but I'm still here. I will be going. Okay. This is strange. I am still here. Sorry. Why is it that I cannot leave? Strange thing. Yasmin? Oh no. Okay, never mind. I am trying to leave. Sarah, go ahead. You can start the interview. I'm a chief judge. I don't judge. But my problem is I cannot go to them. Strangest thing.
Okay, so Jasmine wanted to conduct the interviews, but I see she's not there. I can go ahead and maybe we can have some questions. For Dija, I'm wondering, how was it when you normally travel? This time you said you were in Spain, so you had to leave your baby. How is it? It's like do you feel like a real mom when you have to leave your pet?
Yes, at first I did. I wanted a picture every day, make sure she was okay. As time went on, it got easier, especially when I leave her with people I really trust. It gets easier to not worry, because I worry, is she okay? I hope nothing bad happened to her. I don't know. And I try to concentrate on having fun on my vacation. So in the beginning it was more difficult, but now it's easier.
I can imagine. So Tiger, I'm curious, how did you get inspired to do this speech?
It's based on a true story. I really did have a boss named Richard, and he really did teach me all about forestry. I had a forestry degree, but there was obviously a lot of things I didn't know. And he was a character. We had fun together. It was the best job I've ever had.
Great. And Kevin, I don't know Arby's at all, but it seems to be a very good thing. Is it really like this?
Are you trying to get us to smell through the computer?
Well, have you ever seen that emblem? The emblem? Do you recognize that? Yeah.
No.
What inspired me to give a speech on the possible extinction of Arby's or on the endangered species list is I find it very strange. It's like a coincidence. How is it that we're losing so many Arby's within the last 20 years? It's like one burns to the ground, one gets demolished. It's like, is it a conspiracy theory kind of a thing? And I just have always been kind of interested in that concept. It's like, why do we not have an Arby's like we do a Burger King and a McDonald's everywhere you look? You know, it just doesn't make sense to me. But it's like, I feel like I have to defend Arby's. It's just ever since I started lifting weights, you know, and I always wanted a good, fulfilling meal, you know, that would really give me a good pickup. I'd always go to this Arby's at the drive-through in Roseburg. It's actually in Green by the Love's truck stop. And every time I would eat there, it's like it would fill me up and I'd feel so satisfied. So it's like, I don't get that kind of experience with Burger King or McDonald's. Hell no. No.
Where
Wow.
Where was the old Arby's?
The old Arby's was on Garden Valley. If you it was right across the street it was on the same side of where Panda Express is now. As a matter of fact, if you were pulling out of the east side of the exit of Fred Meyer, and you went forward across the street, it's right across the street there. It's now like some kind of an urgent care facility or something like that. It's on a hill.
Okay.
So yeah.
So Jasmine, you're back. Maybe you want to continue with the interviews for the time Michelle come back.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Maybe I start with the fur mom. Teja, I am so curious to know if you practice your contest speech with your daughter Evie. Are there times when you are talking to her and actually getting feedback from her?
No, I didn't practice with her. I was thinking if I kept saying good girl out loud to you guys, she might actually come in here wondering what I'm doing. But no, I didn't practice with her. That's a good point though. I might try that. Although she doesn't speak as I've explained. So she won't give me very good feedback, but it'll still be a loving feedback.
Yeah, indeed, Deja. I must say, your speech was such an inspiration for me, and I was almost thinking to use pet as you know, as getting a feedback as to how they react to my speech. I'm sure they can react to the vocal variety and would be a good spot to practice vocal variety at least. Nice. Deja, do you have any other pets?
No.
Okay. So would you like to share how did your love for pets started? When did it begin?
I was young. I don't know if there was any one particular dog, but I was young and I always knew I wanted a dog. We didn't have dogs until I was in 3rd grade, I think. And I made it clear to my parents that I wanted a puppy. And we went to the pet store and there was one puppy that we really connected with. And we left without that puppy. But a few days later, my dad came home with that puppy in his arms, and that was the end of it. I'm just a dog mom for life.
Yeah, I know. I can relate to the feeling. I remember the word used by one of the previous club member. She phrased the term dogliness, doglessness. Someone have to remind me, like exactly, like a godliness, like doglessness or something.
Yeah.
Thank you, Deja. Really like your story, and thanks for sharing your story with us. Tiger. Yeah, Tiger. Why would you mess up with squirrels?
I didn't mess with the squirrels. They were messing with me. And that is absolutely a true story. I was actually about half asleep and all of a sudden I started getting pelted. Later we figured out this was their home. And I was invading their space and they literally were dropping cones on me. After that, I would go over and just talk to them and we got along fine after that. But yeah, it's actually a true story. It was quite funny. And my boss, he was laughing so hard he could hardly stand up.
Yeah.
Like Tiger, basically what he says, Tiger, you're an idiot. Well, actually he called me college boy. He goes, college boy, you're an idiot.
Who knows, Tiger, the squirrels were calling you the same. Tiger, would you like to share how many times you have practiced the speech and what makes you work on the speech every time you deliver it?
I've heard it before.
Michelle actually was there. I did this for a speech contest, a humor contest in 2019. So I've been playing with this speech for 3 years. And every time you play with it and get evaluations, you change little things. However, you have to be careful with that because it gets to the point where you forget. You start thinking, okay, what do I say now? Because you changed it. So there's a fine line. You practice a lot, you get feedback, you change it, but you get to a point where it's okay, that's it. I'm done making changes. Now I just have to have fun with it.
Right.
remember
So
the tree
can
part.
we say you have reached that point?
No, it's not as good as I want it to be. Not even close. I'm not going to change the wording so much as just the delivery. It's not nearly as good as I want it to be yet.
Yeah. One last question, Tiger, before I move to Kevin. How does it feel to participate in a contest? I know you are doing it after a long time.
I haven't competed in a contest since 2019. It's been a long time. I didn't eat this morning. My knees were shaking 2 minutes before this started. I was like, man, oh man, I don't remember all this. Whew. It's nerve-wracking. Mary's smiling. It doesn't matter how many times you do this, I don't think. Kevin, we've all competed before. It's nerve-wracking.
Yeah. But still we take it. I think there is experience. One thing is guaranteed when we participate in a contest, and that's an experience. Something we learn in the process. It might not always come to us as a trophy, but definitely we learn something in the process. Thank you, Tiger. I'm sure many of us have learned something new from your feedback. Kevin, maybe I ask you the same question. How does it feel after participating in a contest after so long?
Honestly, I've competed in 3 other contests, area level, I believe division, district level. Honestly, this was the most enjoyable because I was a little more relaxed this time. However, it was in this situation where I was in front of the screen as opposed to being in front of people. The last contest I participated in was, I believe, district level in Grants Pass, and Michelle was there. And I have nothing against the contestants that I competed against, but they were just so good. It's like their jobs are like, some of them are lawyers and doctors and professors. I can't compete against that. I know it's like I shouldn't say that to myself, but it's just the truth. So I felt that this time I was more comfortable in this situation at this level. It's just, to me, it's more relaxing to give a speech in front of people that I know already and enjoy, that I've already had the experience with as a Toastmaster. So
Yeah. You had a very good point to say, Kevin, that, it's more about fun. We should not be under stress if we really have to enjoy the process, but it is really more about fun. I'm looking at the contest chair and looks like she is prepared to take us forward. So I hand it back to the contest chair.
Thank you, Jasmine. Now we are going to the final part of our meeting today of both contests. I have the information from the chief judge. So we have the winners, and now I can go through the announcement. It's a very exciting part of the meeting. First of all, there was no disqualification. And you all will receive a certificate like this, a participation certificate for the contest. Here is just the example for Ravi and for Mary. And for the international speech contest, our second place is for, let me show you, Mary. Mary is the second place. So please, here. And the first place is for Ravi then. Congratulations. Then for the Humorous speech contest, we have, in a similar way, we have a certificate of participations for the 3 of them, Tiger, Kevin, and Dija. And now the third place goes to Kevin. Kevin is in the third place. And then for the second place, we have Dija. And the first place goes to Tiger. So congratulations, all of you, and thank you for participating. The next stage of this contest, the area contest, will be in the beginning of February, but Jasmine will let us know the date exactly. And now I want to give the word to Jasmine to close this contest. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I must congratulate all the contestants and all the participants. I think it's not that the excitement has ended with this meeting. I think the preparation and excitement begins now, because you are representing and going next level, and this is just the beginning. So I wish you really good luck, and the message being, let's get more active and more practice. I would like to really thank all the role players who have been very actively supporting this meeting to make it happen. Everyone was up, everyone readily accepted whatever roles were delivered to them. This truly reflects your commitment and love for RSS. I cannot express it enough in words, but please, all the role players, all the judges, whoever anonymously have helped, I extend my heartfelt thanks to you for all the support. All the guests, thank you very much for coming here and giving encouragement to our contestants. I'm just looking if Renee is here with us. Renee, Are you here with us?
Yes, I still am here. I enjoyed the contest. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for the invitation.
Thank you, Renee. It is such a pleasure to have you here. And with this, I would just like to officially adjourn the meeting with special thanks again to all the role players, to the guests who have joined us today and were wondering what's going on. Now you know it was a special day, it was a contest, but do visit us next week because that is going to be the regular Roseburg Speaker Storytellers meeting. With this, I officially adjourn the meeting.